Dan here for Six Towns Radio. I am at the Regent Theatre with AJ, Curtis, Sario and Yazdan, otherwise known as Four Pots of 5 to 5, otherwise known as The Band. Guys, thank you very much for joining me this morning.
Thanks for having us.
So you started, it was the press night at the Regent Theatre yesterday. How did it go for you guys?
Really well. It was an amazing audience, actually. I feel they were really responsive and they were loud and they were just, you really, because we've been doing the show for a while now, when you have an audience like that, it just gives it a breath of fresh air, gives it a new lease of life. So it was a really, really good press night.
It's very kind of like, for you guys, there was a lot of very quick changes in this, is what I realised, and it's a show where you go, well, that happened very quickly, and the story as well is one which I don't think many people are expecting. If you've not seen the show before, the story is an emotional roller coaster that you go on with the fans of the band. What's it like for you guys in it? Obviously, you're often on stage constantly, you're always singing, you're dancing. What's it like to be a part of that whole process?
I think it's amazing because I think obviously when we won Let It Shine, we weren't really sure what the job was going to be as well. We didn't know that it was going to have the story that it does, and I think that was important for Take That and for the writer Tim Firth to make sure that it wasn't just a jukebox musical and it wasn't just a story of Take That, but that it has actually a real story behind it, you know, and obviously the Take That songs are a part of it as well. It's amazing for us, and I think we are loving it, and yes. Thank God, because obviously we're doing it for another year at least. So
thank God it's good.
Thank God it's good.
Thank God the public like it.
Thank God John got to December and gone, well, this was awful. It's always a good bonus that you enjoy doing what you're doing every night, especially with it being, as I said, with it being so intense. When you obviously auditioned for the show, nobody really knew what the band was going, like the story of the band, what it was going to be. So for the first read and for the first time you guys went into rehearsal, what was your immediate reaction to the story?
We cried. No, I was just we cried, didn't we? It was sort of overwhelming, I think, because we didn't have a clue, and just the actresses. We'd never actually been in a room with actresses before. Obviously, we've come from obviously different backgrounds, but we are primarily musicians. So obviously, when we were put in a room with such incredible actresses who conveyed the storyline so well, it was really moving for us.
It is something where no matter what your connection with either, obviously Take That, everybody's got a connection with the band or music or a certain kind of thing that they've followed almost religiously throughout their life, where you've got a group of friends, you're all in the same thing together, and then there's points where everybody can connect to, and I think without giving the story away, there is parts in the show where you said you cried. I think everybody was like a teen, you kind of go, I can't be crying, my girlfriend's sat next to me, I can't be crying to Take That music, but you kind of go, oh my Lord, I did, and then everybody's doing it, this, you come into the interval, and everybody goes, I was crying, I was like, oh yeah, me too, you just don't hide it, it's one of them. So you really felt that story when you went into that first rehearsal.
You know what, it was actually, when we did the Let It Shine final, it was on a Thursday, I remember this really vividly, and David Pugh, Daffy, his business partner, Jack Ryder, and Tim came, and they got all the bands that were in the final. They sat us all in the room and they just told us the outline of the story, because we had no idea until literally that day. It was like, the show's not about you, the show's really about the fans of the band. That's what the story's about anyway. And we just, I think at that moment we all just went, well, I mean, I speak for myself really, I just went, this is perfect. This is amazing. This is better than what I could have ever imagined. I just thought we would just be standing on stage singing and dancing for a couple of hours, but to actually have a story that really has a meaning and actually comes from truth, comes from real events, and comes from stories that Take That have heard from their fans and things that have happened in all the creators' lives, and it really creates a story that kind of alongside the music is a killer musical.
Let's talk about the TV show. It was something which was watched by millions of people, which is which is added pressure anyway. Obviously, you guys auditioned and it went to before it went on TV, so you didn't know how big it was going to get at the time. What was your reason for auditioning? Obviously, did you like the music of Take That? Was it a case of it was an avenue which you'd never thought about trying before, like musical theatre? What were your reasons for auditioning for the show?
Well, I guess we all love Take That, but I was on my gap year, and my mum was just pretty much telling me I'm quite lazy on my gap year, so she said I should probably sort of audition and do something with my life. And so she actually asked me to apply, and she applied for me on the final day of applications. And I honestly wasn't going to go. I honestly wasn't going to go.
Doing something with your life.
I am doing something with my life.
just
Whether it's
remind
good
her?
or not, I don't know. Maybe the audience is crying because I'm that bad. But at least I'm doing something.
You're doing
I'm
something.
provoking a
You're not being
reaction.
lazy. You're not being lazy. What about you guys?
I've always had a dream to pursue a career in musical theatre and in acting.
Really?
I was auditioning for drama school while I was doing. I just thought it would be a plan B, because drama school is very, very difficult to get into. I was doing well in my auditions, and then I won the show, so I just had to. I emailed them
He
all.
means we.
Oh, sorry. Well, yeah.
I won.
Yeah. I emailed them all, and I obviously told them about what I was doing Let It Shine during the process, and I was like, look, I've won this. I legally obliged to do this show now. I can't kind of say no. They were like, it's fine, don't worry. I think a couple of schools were like, because I didn't get replies from a couple of schools, but yeah.
Forget them. Don't need them.
Yeah, that's it.
Look at them. Look at you now. You're touring, mate.
Yeah.
With the band.
With the band.
Curious, what about yourself?
I entered because I really love Take That, and obviously Gary Barlow, and I have a background in songwriting, so I kind of wanted to explore that and get close to the myth and the legend that is Mr. Barlow. I don't really have a background in musical theatre, but again, what the amazing thing about this musical is that it's not conventional. It's got the Take That music, it's got an original story, and like when we did sit down on the first day and get explained, that we got explained and told everything about it. It was quite different to anything I'd seen or heard before. So then I got really excited, and we obviously went on to win the show. So it's it's life-changing stuff.
You just kind of thrust into the touring musical
The
theatre.
showbiz lifestyle, for sure. I think there's definitely a kind of showbiz world that we've had to adapt to.
And AJ?
My mum actually sent me the link on Twitter. I've always wanted to be a performer, and I think the idea of being in a boy band for me has always been something I'd like to do. And obviously the Take That element as well. So I think it was the perfect show for me. And yeah, obviously as with the other four, went on to win it, and went on to win it. And it literally was the dream job.
So it kind of shows that you all come from very different backgrounds, but you all have the kind of similar passion of, you either love Take That, you love musical theatre, you're in this situation together. Bringing, obviously the four of you, there's 5 of you in the band, bringing 5 different personalities from 5 different backgrounds. Without kind of trying to start any riffs, was it difficult at the beginning to kind of gel together? Because you got kind of put into the bands, through the process. It wasn't I'm going to go with you. It was completely random selection of people. Was that a tough kind of learning curve, or was it because you were all going through the process together? Was that a kind of, let's just do it, let's see what happens?
Both, I think, wasn't it? It's good. It's always going to be tough, especially we were a mix of ages, a mix of experiences. Obviously, we were very different people, but I suppose we did have the same, as corny as it would be, we had the same dream, we had the same passion, and we were in it together. And I think at the time we were the only people who knew what position we were in, and it was just the 5 of us. So I think that really brought us together. And we did grow as a 5, and we found similarities, and we did we did love each other as a 5, and I think that's what that's what
I
made
think
it
the
special.
public saw that as well
Yeah.
in Let It Shine, and that's one of the reasons I think they did vote for us, because they saw that we actually did
real.
bond. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was real, brother.
Real brother.
It was real, brother. It was real
for
dude.
life.
That's got to be a huge thing for you as well. That you are here because of obviously you're talented in your own ways, but the general public saw that as well.
Your own ways.
And you're
I'm good at tutting.
You're talented. But the public saw that in you as well, and they picked up the phone and they voted on an app. They voted for you guys to be in this position.
I think the power of social media is it makes our job more of a pressure, because they voted us to win the show, and obviously they're the ones that are coming to see this show, and it's their verdict online on Twitter and Facebook that decide what other people think of the show. So it's our job every night to go out and give the best performance we can to demonstrate why they chose the right band to win, really.
Being on social media, I have been on Twitter. You've got a lot of fans on Twitter who kind of follow the show and you guys religiously. So I went, okay, it's going to make my job easier today. Let's ask Twitter to ask you questions. So we got a couple. Some of them are completely left field. Some of them are irrelevant to you guys and what you want to do. We'll start off with the first one. You've got a month off coming up. It's been very, very busy for you. So very easy question to start with. What are your plans for your month off?
Yeah, cry.
Sleep.
Sleep.
Lots of sleep.
Lots of sleep.
How do you relax off stage? Like when you have downtime. So this
You
is like
kind
you've
of
actually got a
don't.
matinee
You kind of
today.
don't
Screaming.
Yeah.
2 hours in a row.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because it's so the show, we use our bodies so much. We're always putting our bodies through so much on a daily basis. So I think the month off is going to be a blessing for every single bone in our body, just to chill. Come back in January, God knows how we're going to cope. So we might have to keep up some sort of gym training. I don't know, but yeah, we'll see.
It's for me. What I would be kind of like. I'd be interested to see what your first show is like back in January.
So
just to
weird.
see
Don't
if
come
you've all
late,
just
don't
been
come
relaxed. And you're like, we can chill out, we can do what we want. I'm guessing you're all going to be really strict with it. For the purpose of this, just in case who hears it, they're going to be very strict with their routines.
Yeah, of course. I think as much as you have that, I think with this show actually, what will happen is we'll be off for like 3 days, and then we'll be like, oh, like you'll get itchy feet because we've been doing it every single day for 4 months, and so. I think what will happen is we'll sleep for 3 days and then we'll be like, oh, we feel like we need
Mystic
to do something.
Negear.
Yeah.
Looking into the future.
Yeah.
We've got a question again from Twitter. I probably should have written down the person who sent him in, but
Probably.
it's extra writing.
Probably. Extra writing, mate.
It's too much planning.
Forget
that.
it. Forget it.
Who's the most likely to start laughing on stage at the worst possible time?
Oh, that's like all
We're
of
all
us, though.
quite bad at that.
That's so bad.
I
I've
do
done
laugh
some
quite a
Yeah,
lot.
Saz does.
I'm
You're
quite
normally the
cheeky.
instigator, and then he'll catch eyes with one of us and then
Yeah.
drag us down with him.
It
You
was-
know that
it
nose
was-
thing where you go, and then everyone goes.
Yeah. Yesterday during the dress, I was looking at AJ, and I didn't think he'd look back at me, and he looked back at me, and it was the worst possible moment.
It's an
It was
emotion.
right in
scene.
the eulogy, wasn't it? Right.
Yeah.
You just can't do
It was
it.
so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every one of you is a victim of it, and also you're the worst person for the other people as well. If you catch eyes, like I
Oh,
don't
that's it.
even look.
Yeah.
You literally
Yeah.
can't.
Because Nick's not here, we'll say Nick.
Can't defend himself.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. Anything negative, let's just direct it towards him.
We'll pin it on him.
Yeah.
Nick's done it.
He's going to hear this recovering in bed at home, just like,
It's
guys,
gonna
not again.
Let's make him feel worse. That's
Yeah.
what's going to happen. We've got a question in. Obviously, you guys are a band. You're going to be releasing music yourselves. Is that true? You're going to be releasing music, so
yes.
albums and whatnot. We've had questions about musical theatre. So obviously, a couple of you had dreams to do musical theatre, going to drama school. Is there any other roles that you would love to do? Obviously, aside from the band, is there any other show that you would love to be a part of?
I want to be in Hamilton. That's like my. I've really like, especially I want to be Hamilton in Hamilton. That I feel like that character is just me. I came here as an asylum seeker when I was 4 years old, the same way Alexander Hamilton came to America as an immigrant when he was a young boy. I feel like if I ever meet Lin-Manuel Miranda, I tell him my story and I show him that I'm talented enough to be in that musical. I really, really hope that he'll give me a...
We'd have to let you still be in the band.
Yeah, of
Fight
course, yeah.
Anybody else got any musicals?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I do like Drowsy Chaperone, the musical. I like to be in that.
Anybody?
I wouldn't mind being Link in Hairspray. and if I don't get that within the right age range, maybe then Corny Collins. If I don't, if I get a little bit too old, but
natural progression.
but I think but I'll stick with the boy band thing at the moment. That's
Curtis?
I definitely consider in the long future producing something.
So you'd be producing something?
Yeah, I'd like enjoy putting money, because I've seen what it can do. I'd love to put money into something like this show. Like,
So you can get lots of money.
you know.
So you guys want to be in it, he's making the money from it. That's the business mind.
It is, yeah. That's
Obviously
Curtis,
learned
though.
from the Gary Barlow, from the Take That. He's like, right, we'll put the musical in it, that's fine, we'll sort that, that's
Yeah.
okay. On the band, back to obviously releasing music, we've had a question about Christmas music. Obviously Christmas is just around the corner. Would you guys release a Christmas single, either re-release one or would you want to write your own?
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, of course. Like,
But not this year.
Christmas,
Give us a break.
It's like Christmas music is like you will if you write a good Christmas song, you will be forever making money. Like Mariah Carey is
Not
still
all about money. We're just putting it out there.
Yeah,
We're doing it
that's
for the
true. That's
fans.
true. But it's like it really is. If you can crack a good Christmas song, then you don't have to do anything after that. You can just give up.
So it's, if it was all about the right money, the right song to make the right money, and then you made for life, and you can put that into making a musical. That's like the full circle.
There you go.
It's just
A musical.
It's an interview
about
turned business
writing
meeting.
the
Exactly.
Christmas
I'm like your business advisor.
Yeah.
You are.
I enjoy that. Favourite Christmas movie? Everyone's got a favourite Christmas movie. Do you guys have a favourite Christmas
Nightmare
movie?
Before Christmas or The Grinch.
Grinch, yeah.
Grinch.
Is a
Grinch is
great
up there. I do
movie.
love Elf.
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 Great film.
I've never seen it.
Have you not?
What?
No.
Saz, mate, we have to watch it.
Yeah, you do, mate.
I think
Okay.
you need to film that next
Watch
week.
it!
How can you not watch Elf? It's on every Christmas.
Oh, sorry.
It should be. We've had so that's the serious questions out the way, and obviously on Twitter you always get one person who tries to be a bit funny. Usually it's me, but I was asking the question, so I couldn't do that. So we've had one. Maybe it's it's a psychology question. They're trying to get to know you, the real you. So the question is very simply. Feel free to not answer it and laugh it out of the place. What soup would you be?
What soup?
Soup. That is a very serious question.
Cream of mushroom.
Any reason?
No.
Fair enough. Any cream of mushroom?
Broccoli and Stilton.
Broccoli and Stilton.
Don't ask why. Make of it.
People are
what
going to
you will.
psychoanalyse this.
Yeah,
You do
let
realise
them.
that?
Lentil and bacon.
Of course you're lentil. Of course you're lentil.
It's my favourite came
Just
with tea.
tomatoes.
Just perfect, and that's the great way to finish it. Just we all want to be different kinds of soup.
There you go.
Thank you very much for joining me. The band is going to be here until the Saturday 9th of December. You can get your tickets from atgtickets.com/Stoke. AJ, Curtis, Sario and Yazdan, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Woo!